Alrighty, everyone. It is time for the finale of DSP versus the Internet for August 21st, 2023, episode 27. Thanks to those watching. This is the 6th and final part. And remember, if you want to be a part of the fun next week, become a member today. Alright? Alright. Let us now continue on. And let's see what else people have in store for us in the final part. Here we go.
Welcome back to our coverage of the game of the year between Yale and North Carolina.
Is this real or is this fake? Top soccer shootout ever with Scott Sterling. 90 million views? Is this real? I have no idea what this is. Is this a real soccer game? If this is a real soccer game, likely this will get blocked. Well, let's see.
If you're just joining us, we have witnessed an unbelievably
The
well-fought
Yale
match tonight.
Bulldogs and the
It's come down
NC
to
Tar
penalties.
Heels. Nah, this is fake,
Good
right?
for Yale, taking the first approach.
Oh, there it is! Spectacular! North Carolina's goalkeeper Richards just left one in past him now. So now the burden rests on Yale's Scott Sterling.
Here he comes, nerves of steel, that man, dealing with more pressure now than a submarine.
Indeed.
Home crowd showing some appreciation.
Johnson places the ball on the spot, getting ready. That man literally has a cannon for a leg.
Yes, he does.
Here he goes, winding up for the shot, and oh! The cannon has fired and hit Sterling
It's
directly
scripted and
to
fake?
the face.
We clocked that at a stunning 116 kilometers per hour.
Now that's a lot of miles per hour.
Little chance
Oh,
that man's
look.
broken right now.
Oh, indeed. Now Sterling getting checked out for that one. Spectacular save, though.
looks like
but
he got his
sadly,
nose
he's
crushed.
not out of the woods yet,
On his feet now, a bit shaken.
but not stirred.
This crowd absolutely loves this man.
And
If
Sterling,
this whole thing is staged, how did they get this many people to stage it? Oh, by the way, we can't watch anymore. It just got claimed. So we can't watch any more of it. Why would they have staged such an elaborate soccer or football match like that? I wonder what the point is. And it had 90 million views, right? 90 million views. I wonder what happened. Sadly, we can't watch any more of it to find out what happens. Yeah, we're screwed. So, by the way, look at this. A playthrough of mine from 11 years ago. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. But what part of this are we supposed to be watching? I don't know.
Way, because sure, there were games that I was good at when I was 9 too. The difference being, I didn't just play the games for 5.5 fucking hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I do when I do a video game playthrough on YouTube is significantly different than what a child would do playing one of course I die. Playing one of their favorite games of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I played for 5.5 hours yesterday. During that period of time, I tried to absorb as much as I could. And I do want to give some credit to Panda Lee because she actually played this game when it was new. And she loves this game. She actually never beat it, incidentally.
Is there anything going on? I think it's just me playing the game, right?
Game playthrough. Do you really want to see me repetitively die to the same part for 4 hours straight? Probably fucking not. You know what I mean? So I have to try to balance what I'm doing. Entertainment, gameplay, all these things are a factor, okay? And so for me, you know, what I do typically is a little bit different than what a normal person would do when they buy this game new and they're trying to play it.
I don't get it.
So for people that make elitist comments like, oh, when I was 9 I beat that game and Phil's just sucking at it, it's like, well, wait a minute. Well, you're going to tell me that when you were 9, you purchased this game, you never died on anything that I'm dying on, and you just beat the game in an amazing fucking perfectionist speed run. Oh, shit. You know what I mean? And, you know, like, it's ludicrous what people are saying. But what I like to say is this. I mean, the person who has never sinned cast the first stone. And yeah, I know that's a biblical reference. That's what I feel like. Like, if you never died on any of the stuff I died on ever, okay. Maybe you can say, oh, I'm better than Phil, ha ha. But most people that I'm actually talking to are like, no, we died to the same stuff that Phil died to. You know, we just didn't do a playthrough of it. So for us, yeah, we repetitively died, and the game was cryptic, it didn't explain anything, but we bought the game and we just kept playing and dealt with it, you know?
Right.
For me, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to rant, I'm going to rave, but I'm going to give my honest feelings about what's going on in the game.
So I think, if I remember correctly, so what happened is this is the original Jak and Daxter game. And I had been playing the HD collection on PS3. And a lot of people, keep in mind, I missed the entire 2000s of gaming. I was a pro Street Fighter player during that time, and I didn't play anything during like the late PS1, PS2 era. I had skipped the whole thing. So I had never actually played any games like this back in the day at all. And people wanted to see me play this, and I think they were expecting me to like love it because it's a game from their childhood, right? So I played it, and I was playing it like any other game. I was dying, I was criticizing, and people, oh, how dare you criticize this classic? And why are you dying so much? We beat this when we were kids. And I think what I was trying to explain in this video is this is a little different because I'm doing a playthrough. I'm trying to get through the game and make progress. I'm trying to be entertaining for an audience, right? And I need to make progress. If I don't, then my playthrough fails. You understand? I have to constantly be doing something positive in the game. And if the game is holding me up, if it's cryptic, it's not explaining what to do. By the way, there was no live streaming back then. As you can see, this is a camera. This is not a live stream. It wasn't like someone could be in the chat and be like, so Phil, what you're supposed to do is go over here. Yeah, the game doesn't really explain it, but there's what you go to do it. There was no one to do that. So if I'm playing the game for 5.5 hours and I'm playing it on my own merits and I'm just trying to figure it out, I might get stuck on a part for 40 minutes. And I don't know what to do. And then people complain. You suck. You got stuck. That's boring. What's wrong with you? We beat it when we were 9, right? So I think this was me attempting to kind of defend myself against a lot of the criticism at the time that I felt I was kind of unfair. The thing is, today I really don't get these criticisms anymore. Because number one, I'm not trying to promote myself as someone who's good at games. I don't feel like I am, unless it's like maybe a fighting game. That's about it. And number two, today, everything's interactive anyway. So if I'm playing a classic like this and I end up getting stuck, usually people will help me through it to make progress so that the playthrough continues and it's more entertaining. So luckily today, this kind of stuff doesn't happen, all right? All right, let's continue on because I don't really want to watch the rest of that clip. What is this? Hand starting a plane propeller, disaster averted.
Turn the mags on. Yeah. All right, can you go start the engine? You got it, keep it going. Yeah, you got it. Get lower.
So they're flying and the propeller stalled. So they're just gliding right now.
Thanks. All right, perfect.
Wow.
That's a good safety harness right there. Always prepared. Yeah. All right.
Holy shit, they straight up would have died if that didn't happen. There's no way they would have landed. Well, that was insane. Imagine being in one of those biplanes. You're up that high, and your fucking propeller stalls. We have nothing to propel us any further. We're just going to crash now, right? Damn. Well, it's a good thing that they had the ability to do that. I mean, that guy has some balls, but man, imagine holding your nerve doing that and not freaking out and like, if I slip, I'm dead, right? It's pretty crazy. Damn. A 2010 Camaro delivered in style. Let's look at this.
Race fans, please turn your attention to turn 4 as the Boeing CH-47D Chinook enters the speedway to deliver.
That's a Boeing helicopter, the Chinook. I worked for the company that did Sikorsky helicopters, so it's the competitor.
Company stationed in Olathe, Kansas, and are assigned to the 7th Battalion 100.
Jesus, look at that thing. It has 2 sets of blades that spin next to each other and don't ever touch. That's wild. How they engineer that shit. How'd they figure that out? He's gonna land perfectly here. Watch. Wow. He's a skilled pilot. Oh, they have a car in there? That's what they have, the Camaro on the plane. There it goes. And then they're gonna get the hell out of there. Yeah! Crazy. Bye-bye. Good work, good landing. Much harder to do in real life than in GTA 5. All right, what's next? Here we go. Oh boy. We haven't seen her in quite some time. Didn't we only see her once ever? I think we only saw her once ever. All right.
Chicken and sausage gumbo. Right, as you can see, it's all done.
Guys.
Oh, I wanted to pause and look at it.
It's time. It is once again time for our bi-weekly check-in on the greatest YouTube chef the world has ever seen. That's right. It's the one and only Kaye's Cooking, boys and girls. Now today we've got a bit of a special episode, people. Now in the past, in some of my cooking videos, you guys have rightfully called me out for being a bit ignorant on certain cooking techniques. I feel pretty confident in my ability to call out crazy cooking techniques, but occasionally I come across something I'm just not familiar with, and there have been times where I try to dunk on said technique, it turns out to be a genuine technique, and then in turn I get dunked on. However, today is the most confident I have ever been going into a cooking video, and that cooking video is chicken and sausage gumbo. Now half of my family is from Louisiana, so growing up there is no dish I made or ate more than gumbo. Majority of the things that I was taught about cooking while growing up are Cajun techniques, so I'm feeling like Gordon Ramsay walking into this bad boy. Sometimes I find myself tiptoeing in these cooking videos trying not to make anybody mad, but today I'm holding back nothing. That is, however, if there's anything that I actually have to hold back, because I haven't fully—
So this is supposed to be gumbo. That looks to me like chowder. What she did is she mixed flour, butter, and other ingredients with water and then flavoring. But that's not gumbo at all. In any way, shape, or form. That's not even close to what gumbo is. Gumbo is supposed to be a variety of proteins mixed with some other ingredients in a roux. And a roux is like a broth, but it's not really. It's like a, you know, mix of liquids and other things, and you put your meat in there in this roux, and you can serve it in various different ways. Some people have gumbo as actually like almost like a stew. Some people will serve gumbo over like a rice, but gumbo is supposed to have some spice to it, and it's supposed to have a variety of meats. What is she making? That is not gumbo at all. That's not even close to what that's supposed to be. That looks like, to me, that looks like New England clam chowder, right? Or like, that's something she's gonna bake. That's not gumbo.
Watched this video yet, but I saw the thumbnail and I saw the word gumbo in the title, and well, those two things did not mix. So I figured this would make for a good video.
Nuts.
But it might
What is
not.
that?
This might be the worst thing I've ever made. It might get scrapped. I might be talking to myself right now. I guess time will tell. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Hi people, and I'm back cooking again, and today I'm going to be doing a chicken and sausage gumbo.
I like how confused she is. Oh, I'm gonna make, I think, chicken and sausage gumbo. You're the cook. You don't know what you're about to make? Did you not just plan it? Or did someone give this to you to do or something, like a homework
Right, as you can
assignment?
see, I've got 2 smoked sausages.
What kind of sausage
I'm going
is
to
it?
cut them up.
That doesn't look like the appreciate sausage for gumbo either.
Not
Like, what
too
kind is that?
small,
Is that
not
pork?
too big.
What's
I'm
the
gonna put
flavoring of
the chicken
it?
in here, and I'm going to let it cook in its own juices, and then, because the juices that come from the chicken and the sausage is to be used for the sauce.
Alrighty, interesting. I'm not really sure what the technique being talked about here is. It seems like she's saying she's going to be using like the meat juices for the roux, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure the direction we're headed here yet, so I'm not going to say anything. Sausage looks okay, you know? Now real quick.
Right off the bat, she's cutting the sausage in the container she's going to cook it in. You couldn't cut it first and put it in. So you're going to have knife marks all over your baking pan because you cut inside the baking pan.
Before we get into the meat of this video, I would like to preemptively respond to the comments like, oh my god, do you think you know everything about Gumbo? What are you, the Gumbo police? Yes, I am. That is my preferred title, okay? Officer Gumbo.
Now, I did mention the sauce earlier on. Apparently, this sauce is just butter and flour. I don't think it's going to... Because it's supposed to be a brown sauce.
Well, yes, Kay, it is supposed to be a brown sauce, but it seems we have made a bit of an oopsie here. So granted, roux is sometimes considered like kind of a difficult thing to make. Kay has not really set herself up well here. It looks like she's dumped in everything at once, which you can't do. You need to get your butter in and melted, or your oil in and hot, and then you add your flour in, and then you whisk it until you have lost the will to live. Making roux is a very focused project. It's similar to that of driving, and as you would imagine, has similar consequences if you get distracted while making your roux. Just like if you were to do so while driving, there is going to be an inevitable disaster, and you're gonna hurt the people around you. So what's happening here is that there's nothing for the flour to dissolve into, so there's nothing really being made here. Roux is the base for all gumbos. If you don't have a roux, you don't have a gumbo, which is definitely going to be an issue for this video.
What is she doing? Why is she trying to mix pure butter into flour? Why does she think that would work?
Now I'm going to put all the ingredients in. As you can see,
looks like, is that onion? It could be garlic. I think it might be garlic because it's too small maybe to be a diced onion. So it's probably garlic. And is that thyme? I'm not sure what the herb is. It could be thyme. I have no idea what the red herb is, but I can already tell you those portions are insanely wrong. Does she really think that red seasoning is enough for her entire gumbo dish? That looks like a pinch. A pinch for your entire gumbo dish. This is going to be the most bland thing ever made in history. Is it rosemary? Okay, rosemary could work, I think. Yeah, rosemary. All right. Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous. What? That is not seasoning for any dish on earth.
as you can see, I've got bits of everything on there. Exactly what it says. Teaspoon of everything. I've got garlic. I've got thyme.
Thyme. I was right.
I've got Kajawa or whatever you call it.
Kajava?
Right, there's a lot wrong going on here. There is a holy trinity in Cajun cooking, and boys and girls, these three ingredients are not it. Say it with me now: celery, onions, bell peppers. If it doesn't have those three things, it's not Cajun. And it's definitely not gumbo, so I'm not really sure what we're about to make here. I'm guessing this recipe was made by a British person, which explains everything for most cases, especially this one.
Obviously, bland British
I'm being
gumbo.
a little bit tongue-in-cheek here, but these few steps, like making the roux and having these vegetables, they are required for making gumbo. Like, this would be trying to make a hamburger without pattying the meat. It's just something else if you don't do these things.
Right, it does say to keep stirring it. I'm going to put some garlic sauce in it.
What sauce?
Not too much.
What is that?
That's it.
Garlic sauce? Why would it be red?
And I'm going to stir it because it should be.
Do you know of any red garlic? Have you ever seen a red What is that? Looks like she poured ketchup into it.
Like a sort of a brownie stuff.
Huh, okay. No, that's for sure an interesting technique. Not really sure how to process that one. I feel like this may be one of Kaye's lesser moments. I mean, like, come on, I'm not trying to be mean here, but you've got to know, reading a recipe, that if a sauce is supposed to be brown, they probably mean by the ingredients listed in the recipe. Not that you're supposed to add your own brown ingredients. I mean, right now...
Is that what she did? She added a brown ingredient to change the color?
Flour, water, unmelted butter, thyme, and honey garlic sauce, which is
garlic
not what I would call traditional gumbo.
Now, I don't... Oh, not bad, yeah. I don't like a lot of garlic, so... So this now has to be put on the chicken, put it in the oven with a little bit of salt, not too much salt, and then cooked a bit longer, and then, well, then it's the taste test.
This is ridiculous. Let's just skip ahead because she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She threw more things on top. Oh, God. She thinks this is gumbo.
Not needed because, well, this is not gumbo.
No, not at all. It looks like she just tried to stew a bunch of meats in a bunch of random things. That's not gumbo at all.
Now it's the taste test. The chicken.
It's gonna be super bland. She can't, dude, she can't swallow it. She's still chewing. You gonna swallow it?
That sauce is absolutely gorgeous.
I'm quite the fan of garlic sauce myself, but I feel like if you hadn't you know, added your own brown component to the sauce, you might not have the same sentiment. I need a fellow Brit to tell me that real gumbo exists across the pond, because if this is what people are selling as gumbo in Britain, you guys are missing out on what is the greatest dish on the planet. And gumbo to
Not even close to being real gumbo. Not even close at all. Didn't even have half the ingredients of what should be in it. All right, let's continue. So this is supposed to be Super Turbo is broken. It analyzes how the game is broken. All right, let's just fast forward to some of the brokenness of it. That is correct. Yep. And future fighting games changed that. So in Super Turbo and in Classic Street Fighter, when someone attacks, you block. Even if you're not near them, you block. In future fighting games, you can constantly dash back and forward to avoid attacks. This happens in Street Fighter 6 all the time. On Fight, I'll do a drive rush move, and the person just walks back and they're right out of the range that they can punish it. But in Classic Street Fighter, you can't do that. You block instead. No trip guard. You cannot block low. That is correct. And they changed this in many fighting games in the future. You can't trip someone as they land. In Street Fighter 2, you can trip someone as they land. They cannot block while landing. Yep. No way to block. So there you go. Chun and Dictator can block after their special air normals, which is different. It's a different situation. Yep. Yes, they're insanely good in Super Turbo. Fireballs are crazy good. Yep. You can lock certain characters down in the corner. They can't even get out of the corner because of the fireball. Yes, blocking. Also, blocking a fireball knocks you back, which doesn't happen in certain other fighting games, but it does in this one. Yep. Correct. Anytime you fight against a ranged fighter, there's a lot of normal, a lot of dueling fireball stuff. Yep. Ah, look at this. Last normal use affects the recovery speed of fireballs. That I didn't even know. This gives faster fireballs no downside. Ah, look at that. A slight change. Fireballs will lag the game. Yes, that's true. Fireballs freeze the game on impact. Shoto Streets are special cancelable? Yes, that is correct. Yep. All this is true. I don't see how this is broken, though. This is just gameplay components. I don't know why this is broken. This is not explaining why it's broken. Can we get to a part where people think the game's broken? Let's go to, like, here and see what he says. Some supers are free options to throw out because they're so hard to punish. Yes. Certain ones you cannot really do much about at all. Stored supers. Chun-Li, Honda, stored super. Yep. Probably wasn't intended. It's a glitch, but they kept it in the game. Yep. The stored super walk forward and then do it. Yeah, you can hold it all the time. You can hold it endlessly. It still works. Chun-Li's takes advantage. Honda does not. Honda super is terrible. Yeah, other characters can't do it. It drops. Only those two. So are they going to show us broken things? Here we go. One of the dirtiest top tiers of the entire franchise. Vega. He's insanely fast. Yes. All his normals have giant reach. They're hard to hit. Yup, the slide is fast. It goes fast. Yup. Yes, his throw mix-up game is crazy good. And that is correct. It's hard to hit him because his hurt boxes are weird. Wall dive is broken. They're saying if you hit once by wall dive, you lose the match. That's not necessarily true. Yes, you can attack on the same side, you can cross up, you can throw. You can actually change air direction in mid-air to mix up. Yep. If you know how to block or anti-air, it's not a big deal. The problem is online. Playing the game online is impossible. You can't fucking react to it online. And yes, that's a super move from the wall dive. It doesn't really have use, though. Yeah, you can't be top tier again because Super Turbo. That's funny. That's actually pretty funny. Yes, all the old versions are older versions of the characters. Some of them are good, some of them are terrible. Old Ken's the most broken in the game, I think. Yeah, Old Ken is really strong. Look at that. Old Hawk is just infinitely better than new T-Hawk. His normals are better, and his throw game is better, his combos are better, everything's better. Way better. Old Sagat is one of the best in the game, right. Now they're going to talk about Old Sagat, how broken he is. They'll probably end the video. Yep. Old Sagat, Super Turbo, is insanely broken. The best Fireball character ever created. I don't think they'll ever make another Fireball character like Old Sagat. They learned their lesson with how good Old Sagat was. Seriously. It's a low-hitting shot that can dizzy after 2 or 3 hits. It combo into itself in the corner. It's absolutely ridiculous how good he is. He's absolutely insane over-the-top good in this game. Yup, his uppercut is incredibly overpowered. If it trades, it still does full damage. He has a fast Tiger Knee that can mix up. The Tiger Knee can combo over the cross-up for giant damage. Yep. Isn't this fun? I don't know about Akuma. Yeah, but Akuma's a boss character that was not intended to be played. And he's the most broken character in the game, for sure. But he's not allowed in tournaments. Yeah, they banned him. You cannot play as him. So honestly, this video does not prove at all that Super Turbo is broken. It's a breakdown of Super Turbo. But it's not exposing anything about the game that says that it's broken. It's just showing you gameplay elements. So I don't really understand. I think he used the name to get clickbait views, because nothing in this video shows the Super Turbo is broken at all. You're just analyzing some of the things about the game that need to be known to play at a high level. But literally nothing here has anything to do with being broken. I could break down gameplay elements of other games too and claim, oh, it's broken. But no, you just do this to beat it. Oh, okay. Like, Old Sagat's ridiculously good, but he's not unbeatable. Akuma's unbeatable. You can't beat Akuma, that's why he's banned. One of the few characters ever in a fighting game to be outright banned. So broken. Ridiculous combos, ridiculous juggles, insane damage output, instant dizzies, lockdowns with the air fireball. You can't do no one stands a chance against Akuma. No one. A well-played Akuma will dominate the entire cast. That's why he's big. But he was never supposed to be a playable character to begin with. He's supposed to be a joke character that, you know, you just dominate with. That's it. And yes, you can do block string infinites with this where people can't get out. Certain characters can't get out. His problem, really, the reason that he's overpowered, air fireball and that right there, this hurricane kick, is invincible on startup. So you can just throw air fireball, hurricane, and certain characters can't do anything. You're just fucked. You can't do anything about it. It's funny because he has all these other moves. You don't need them. Why would Akuma ever need to teleport? He's Akuma. Everything he does is invincible. You don't need to teleport. But the air... you would never need to use that in any situation. The air fireball just breaks the game. That's why every other appearance he's ever had, his air fireball doesn't travel like that. It has a weird arc that goes down so he can't pin you down. And also does like no damage in future games. In this game, it does the same full damage. After like 2 hits, you get dizzy here. Right, it creates an unblockable mix-up as well. Given how early in the genre Super Turbo came out, it's honestly miraculous how good of a game it turned out to be. It is. Because this, before Super Turbo, I would argue none of the Street Fighter 2 games were actually balanced. Super Turbo somehow hit this perfect stride of broken with balanced and ways around the broken, and to this day people can still play at high level. It's a still fully enjoyable game. While so many other classic fighters today you play them just for nostalgia value, this game legitimately to this day can still be played at top level and treated like a great game. And it created so many things that the genre still uses today. Breaking of throws or early tech recovery of throws, super moves, right? Among many other things. You know, just basic gameplay mechanics, aerial juggles, and and things like that weren't present until this game. So no matter how much the genre changes, Super Turbo will always have a spot at the top. I agree. Here's the 30 more years of Super Turbo. You're here. But if you want, in truth, here's what I want, which I don't think they will ever do. I want them to actually make a sequel. I want them to make Super Turbo 2. And actually make it play like Super Turbo. And actually have gameplay elements of Super Turbo. But have it be modern graphics. Why can't you make Super Turbo 2? I mean, Street Fighter 6 is great. But it has so many gameplay elements. Why not make a basic fighter with modern graphics that can feel like a throwback game again? I would love that. And the thing is, it seems like every fighting game now, they have to modernize it. Make it more complex, more complicated, more flashy. Why not just go back and make Super Turbo 2? A sequel to this game that has maybe the same... Maybe you could even add in the fighters from future fighting games, like future Street Fighter characters, but have them play more basic like characters did in Super Turbo. I would think that would be an outstanding idea, and I think the fighting game community would love it. But it seems they just keep going down this path of more and more and more convoluted engines every game. I mean, just take a look at Street Fighter 6, right? We've got parries, perfect parries, drive rush cancel, right? Drive impact, countering drive impact, drive reversal, right? That's just some, they got OD moves, super cancel, it's like there's like 17, 18 gameplay mechanics you need to learn before you can even play Street Fighter 6. And then you have to learn the matchups, you have to learn the combos. You know what I'm saying? For this, why not just go back to basics? Make a game that's simple, yet complex, but have a wide cast of characters. Imagine making Super Turbo 2, and it has all the characters from Super Turbo, but then it has like 2 or 3 characters from Alpha, 2 or 3 characters from Street Fighter 3, 2 or 3 characters from Street Fighter 4. Make a cast of 32 characters. Super Turbo 2, it's just a crazy game where everything's basic, but everything can be played at a high level, and you never run out of matchups, And the thing is, they could do that. If they dropped all these insane complex gameplay mechanics, they could absolutely make a game like that on budget. It wouldn't even, we blew the budget. You wouldn't blow the budget, because you wouldn't have to go crazy. But it seems like everything has to be flashy, everything has to have, Street Fighter 6, everything has to be spray painted on the screen, like, oh, right? No, these days of simplicity can come back, I feel. They need to bring them back, in my opinion. But anyway, Super Turbo is still my favorite fighting game of all time. All right, guys, so that is DSP versus the internet for week 27. Yes, if you can believe it. Thank you for watching. And if you did enjoy the show today, please consider becoming a member of the channel. Members are those who nominate these videos every week. And I love, this week had some good variety, I would say. I liked this week. Some of those videos were memorable. Can't wait to see what you guys come up for next week. And of course, next week will be Sunday, not Monday. Keep your eyes peeled. Those threads will be going live later tonight. All right? To nominate. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time. Peace out.